Hi everyone! Welcome back to Let's Read and Learn. It's me Darwin. Today we are going to read a book about scientific method. A rabbit named Charlotte faces a problem due to her cramped living space. By using scientific method, she tries experiments and reaches conclusion. She comes out from being squished. Come on, let's read together. Charlotte, the Scientist Is Squished. Written by Camille Andros, illustrated by Brianne Farley. Charlotte was a serious scientist. Protective glasses, a lab coat, and a magnifying glass were essential scientific equipments, plus a clipboard for important notes. Charlotte solved problem by conducting experiments that followed the scientific method. And Charlotte had a problem. She was squished. She was squished at the table. She was squished in the tub. And sometimes she was even squished on the toilet. Hey! It had become impossible to conduct her experiments. Her test tubes were taken, her beakers got broken, and her specimens were spoiled. Charlotte needed some space. Time to use the scientific method. Step 1. Ask a question. How can I get some space around here? Step 2. Hypothesis. If I can get rid of my brothers and sisters, I will have room to be a real scientist. Step 3. Test the hypothesis. Experiment. She tried an experiment to make everyone disappear, but it didn't work. She tried another experiment to make herself disappear, but that didn't work either. Bang, clang, boom! Keep out. If she was going to get some space, she would have to go there. And she reached outer space. Step 4. Make and record observations. Charlotte was no longer squished at the table. She was no longer squished in the tub, and Charlotte could take as long as she wanted on the toilet. Observation. Meals check, baths check, toilet check. Important experiments. Space was splendid. Finally, step 5. Draw conclusions. She had all the rooms she needed to conduct very important experiments using her protective glasses, a lab coat, and magnifying glass. Her test tubes were tidy, her beakers looked brilliant, and her specimens were sparkling. Her hypothesis was correct. Finally, she had room to be a scientist. The only problem was there was no one to talk at mealtime, no one to blow bubbles within the tub. And what was Charlotte supposed to do when she ran out of toilet paper? Hello, space was lonely. Back to step 2. Form a new hypothesis. If I can have friends in space, then I won't be lonely and I can be a real scientist. Time for more experiments. Charlotte tried chocolate, but it was too tempting. The balloons kept floating away. And robot bunnies were poor conversationalists. They got ruined in the bathtub and tangled in the toilet paper. Boop! Charlotte missed her family. She even missed being squished. So she tried one last experiment. And reached a new conclusion. Charlotte didn't need outer space. She just needed her own space. The 5 steps of the scientific method. Step 1. Ask a question. What, when, who, which, why, where, and or how. Charlotte asked, how can I get some space around here? Step 2. Form a hypothesis. Hypothesis is a best guess answer to the question. Usually it includes the words if and then. Charlotte's first hypothesis was, if I can get rid of my brothers and sisters, then I'll have room to be a real scientist. What was Charlotte's second hypothesis? Step 3. Test the hypothesis. Experiment. An experiment is a test to help find answer for the question. Charlotte tried an experiment to make herself disappear. What other experiment did Charlotte do help answer her question? Step 4. Make and record observations. Carefully watch and write down what happens during the experiment. When Charlotte went to space, she noticed she had lots of room to be a real scientist, but she was lonely. What did Charlotte observe in her other experiment? Step 5. Form a conclusion. A conclusion is an information learned from the experiment. What was Charlotte's big conclusion at the end of the story? Please like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching.